Hi, I'm Madden. If you'd asked me 2 months ago, I would have told you I had a pretty normal family. Complicated, sure, but what family isn't? My dad, Victor, was always the traditional type. Business first, family obligations a close second, and personal choices a distant third. That philosophy built his real estate empire, and it was supposed to be the foundation of my inheritance too. I was sitting in our living room, watching Emma rock our 2-week-old daughter, Lily, when my phone buzzed. The family lawyer, Claire, wanted to meet. "You should go," Emma said, brushing her finger against Lily's cheek. Claire wouldn't call unless it was important. "Dad probably just changed something in the trust again," I said, leaning over to kiss Lily's forehead. "He's been threatening to restructure since I took that extended leave." Emma looked up, her eyes still tired from our sleepless nights. "He can't still be upset about that. You know, Dad, family obligations are sacred, but only when they align with his schedule. But it was our daughter's birth. An emergency C-section." Emma's voice rose slightly, causing Lily to stir. I gently took Lily from her arms. "Hey, it's okay. I made the right choice. I'd miss 100 meetings to be there for you two." The next day, Claire's office felt colder than usual. She wouldn't meet my eyes when I walked in. "Madden, please take a seat," she said, gesturing to the chair across from her desk. Her voice was professional, but I caught the note of discomfort. "Is everything okay?" I asked, setting my coffee down. "Dad's not sick, is he?" Claire shook her head. "No, nothing like that. Your father made some significant changes to his will and trust last week. He asked me to inform you personally. Let me guess, another hoop to jump through before I can join the board?" Claire slid a document across the desk. "I'm afraid it's more serious than that. He's removed you as a beneficiary entirely." The room seemed to tilt. "What? That can't be right." I tried to reason with him, Madden, but he was adamant. "Because I missed the Richardson closing? Because I chose to be with my wife during an emergency?" Claire nodded slightly. "He mentioned the Richardson deal, said you'd chosen your priorities, and he was simply respecting that choice." I picked up the document, scanning the legal language that effectively erased 20 years of promises. "And my brother and sister? Roger and Olivia remain in the will unchanged." I laughed, the sound hollow even to my own ears. "So I'm being punished for being with my wife when she could have died, when our daughter could have died." Claire leaned forward. "For what it's worth, I think it's unconscionable." But Victor was clear. The Richardson deal was make or break for the company's expansion. And who gets my shares now? They're being divided between Roger and the company's executive board. I stood up, my hands surprisingly steady. "Does Olivia know?" "Your father informed the family yesterday. I'm sorry you had to hear it from me." As I reached for the door, Claire called after me. "Madden, what will you do now?" I paused, the weight of the question settling on my shoulders. "I'm going to talk to my family, all of them, and then I'll decide." My sister's apartment was a 20-minute drive from Claire's office. Olivia answered on the second knock, already reaching to hug me before I could speak. "I was about to call you," she said, pulling me inside. "Dad's lost his mind this time." I followed her to the kitchen where she poured 2 coffees without asking. "So you've heard?" "Roger called me yesterday, practically gloating. Said Dad finally saw the light about your commitment issues." She pushed a mug toward me. "His words, not mine." "And what did you say?" I wrapped my hands around the warm ceramic. Olivia snorted. "I told him he was being a jackass and hung up. Then I called Dad and got his voicemail 3 times. I just left Claire's office. It's official. I've been written out completely." "God, Madden, I'm so sorry." She reached across the counter to squeeze my arm. "How's Emma taking it?" "She doesn't know yet. I haven't been home." Olivia's eyes widened. "You came here first?" I needed to understand what happened. Dad's pulled stunts before, but this is different, she finished for me. "It's cruel is what it is." I took a long sip of coffee. "Did Dad say anything to you? Give any warning?" Olivia hesitated. "He's been different since you missed the Richardson closing. Colder. When I defended you at Sunday dinner last week, he said some things." "What things, Liv?" She sighed. "That you'd chosen that woman over family. That if you couldn't be trusted with the most important deal of the year, you couldn't be trusted with his legacy." "Emma nearly died," I said, my voice tight. "Lily wasn't breathing when they delivered her. What was I supposed to do?" "Be in 2 places at once, apparently." Olivia's tone was bitter. "You know how he is. The company always comes first. Always. And Roger? Doing what Roger does best, agreeing with whoever has the power." She crossed her arms. "He's already moved into your office." I set my mug down harder than intended. He what? Dad announced it yesterday, said the Richardson client specifically asked for someone more dedicated to handle their portfolio going forward. My phone buzzed. A text from Roger. Heard the news? Dad's office, 3 p.m., family meeting. Don't be late, again. I showed Olivia the message. She rolled her eyes. Subtle as always. I should go talk to Emma first, I said, standing. Olivia came around the counter. What are you going to do, Madden? You can fight this, you know. Claire would help. She thinks the world of you. I hugged my sister tightly. I don't know yet, but I'll figure it out. Whatever you decide, I'm with you. Dad's wrong about this. Dead wrong. Even if it costs you your inheritance too, I asked, only half joking. Olivia didn't hesitate. Some things matter more than money, big brother. Some things actually are sacred. The family company headquarters had always felt like a second home, but as I walked through the lobby that afternoon, the security guard's surprised expression said everything. Mr. Madden, we, weren't expecting you today. Family meeting, Carl. I'm still family, last I checked. The elevator ride to the top floor gave me time to steady my breathing. Emma's words from our conversation earlier echoed in my mind. Don't let him make you feel ashamed of choosing us. Dad's assistant Jennifer jumped when she saw me. Madden, your father is in with Roger right now. Perfect timing then, I said, moving past her toward the double doors. Inside, my father sat behind his massive desk, Roger across from him with a spread of documents between them. Both looked up when I entered. Roger was surprised. My father was something closer to annoyance. You're early, Dad said, checking his watch. Actually, I'm right on time. Roger's text said 3 o'clock. Roger straightened his tie. I meant to send an update. We started earlier to review some pressing matters. Matters concerning my shares, perhaps? I remained standing, despite the empty chair beside Roger. Dad folded his hands on the desk. I assume Claire spoke with you? She did, though I would have preferred hearing it from my father. I made a business decision, Madden. Nothing personal. I laughed. Cutting your son out of his inheritance because he chose to be with his wife during a medical emergency isn't personal. What would you call it? Roger cleared his throat. The Richardson deal was worth, I know exactly what it was worth, I cut in. What I don't know is when it became worth more than family. Dad stood, his expression hardening. Don't lecture me about family, son. This company has supported our family for 3 generations. The Richardson partnership would have secured it for 3 more. And they walked because I wasn't there? They walked because they wanted someone whose priorities aligned with theirs, Dad said. Business first, everything else second. Like watching your grandchild being born? I challenged. Emergencies happen, Roger interjected. But you could have delayed the delivery until after the meeting. The absurdity of his statement hung in the air before I replied. You can't be serious. Your brother managed to close the Perth acquisition the day his son had surgery, Dad said. He made it work. Jason had a scheduled tonsillectomy. Emma was rushed to the hospital because her placenta detached. Lily wasn't breathing when they delivered her. My voice echoed through the office. The door opened behind me and Olivia walked in. Sorry I'm late. Traffic was terrible. She moved to stand beside me, her presence a silent statement. Dad's eyes narrowed. Olivia, we were just discussing family commitment. Yes, I heard Madden explaining his commitment to his wife and daughter, she replied coolly. Sounds pretty clear to me. Roger stood. This isn't your concern, Liv. My brother being disinherited for acting like a decent human being, that's absolutely my concern. Dad sighed heavily. I didn't call this meeting to debate my decision. It's final. The paperwork is done. Then why did you call it? I asked. To discuss transition. Your clients need reassignment. Your office needs clearing out. The casual cruelty of it stole my breath. 20 years of loyalty reduced to a transition plan. I built half those client relationships, I said quietly. I brought in the Westfield account, the Chambers Family Trust, and the company compensated you well for it, Dad replied. Your salary and bonuses have been more than generous. This isn't about money, I said. It's about respect. Dad's expression remained impassive. Respect is earned, Madden. When you walked out on that meeting, you lost mine. When you punished me for being with my family during a life-threatening emergency, you lost mine, I countered. The room fell silent. Finally, Dad spoke. Your office needs to be cleared by Friday. HR will process your final compensation package. I looked at my father, really looked at him, And for the first time, I saw not the titan of industry I'd admired, but an old man whose world had narrowed to balance sheets and acquisitions. You know, I said quietly, I always worried I'd never live up to your example. Now I'm grateful I never will. I turned to leave, Olivia beside me. Madden, Dad called after me. This doesn't have to be permanent. In time, perhaps. I paused at the door. In time, Dad, I hope you realize what you've sacrificed here. It's worth far more than the Richardson deal. 3 months passed in a blur of sleepless nights, with Lily, job interviews, and long conversations with Emma about our future. I'd received 4 offers, including one from Dad's biggest competitor, which I'd politely declined. Some lines I wouldn't cross even now. I was feeding Lily her morning bottle when the doorbell rang. Emma appeared from the kitchen, wiping her hands on a towel. I'll get it, she said, kissing the top of my head as she passed. A moment later, she returned with Claire behind her. Claire, this is unexpected, I said, shifting Lily to my shoulder. Claire smiled at the baby. She's beautiful, Madden. Congratulations again. Thank you. Is everything okay? Claire set her briefcase on the coffee table. Your father had a minor heart attack yesterday. Emma sat beside me, her hand finding mine. Is he all right? He's stable, already complaining about hospital food and demanding his laptop, Claire replied. Roger's handling the day-to-day operations. I nodded slowly. I appreciate you letting us know, but that's not why I'm here, Claire interrupted, opening her briefcase. Before he was admitted, your father asked me to deliver this. She handed me an envelope with my name written in my father's distinctive scrawl. What is it? Emma asked. Claire remained professional. A private letter, and this. She placed a legal document on the table. A new amendment to his will. My throat tightened. He's cutting Olivia out too? No, Claire said. He's reinstating you with conditions. Emma's grip on my hand tightened. What kind of conditions? Return to the company immediately. Take over while he recovers. Prove your commitment. I stared at the document, emotions churning. After a long moment, I handed Lily to Emma and opened my father's letter. The handwriting was less steady than I remembered. Madden, the doctors tell me this was a warning. They're right, but not in the way they think. Some warnings come in legal documents, others in heart muscle. Both can be ignored at great cost. I was wrong. Not about the importance of commitment, but about what deserves our highest commitment. Come back. The company needs you. Dad? I folded the letter carefully and looked at Claire. He couldn't say this himself? You know Victor. Pride is still his strongest trait, Claire replied, but I believe he's sincere. Emma shifted Lily in her arms. What are you thinking? I took a deep breath. I'm thinking about what matters most. The reinstatement offer expires Friday, Claire said gently. I nodded, standing to walk her to the door. At the threshold, she paused. For what it's worth. When he was waiting for the ambulance, you were the one he asked for. After she left, I returned to find Emma putting Lily down for her nap. I wrapped my arms around them both, breathing in the scent of baby powder and Emma's shampoo. You know, Emma said quietly, whatever you decide, I support you. Even if I go back, she turned to face me. Would you? After everything? I considered the question carefully. Not on his terms, not anymore. That evening I called Olivia and explained everything. Then I called Roger, who surprised me with an offer of his own. I'm not Dad, he said, his voice uncharacteristically humble. I never wanted it to happen this way. What are you saying exactly? I'm saying we should meet. Talk about the company's future, together. 2 days later, I walked into my father's hospital room. He was pale against the white sheets, but his eyes were alert. You came, he said simply. I did. I took the chair beside his bed. Not because of your offer. He nodded slightly. Claire told me you haven't signed. I won't be signing it, Dad. Something flashed across his face. Disappointment, maybe resignation. Roger and I talked, I continued, along with Olivia and Claire. We have a counter-proposal. Dad raised an eyebrow. A counter-proposal? I'll come back, but as an equal partner with Roger. The company structure gets reorganized, new board, new voting rights, and a clear succession plan that values family and work-life balance. Impossible, he muttered. The company needs leadership that understands what matters, Dad. I choose my family, all of my family, including you and Roger and Olivia. But I won't sacrifice Emma and Lily for a deal, no matter how important. He was quiet for a long time, studying my face. And if I refuse, then Olivia, Roger, and I start something new, together. I placed a folder on his bed. We have investors lined up. Most of my old clients are ready to follow us. Dad opened the folder, scanning the business plan Roger and I had worked on for the past 48 hours straight. Roger agreed to this? He asked incredulously. It was partly his idea, I admitted. Turns out near-death experiences affect the whole family. Dad closed the folder, a complexity of emotions crossing his face. When did my children get so formidable? We had a good teacher, I said. On business, anyway. A hint of a smile touched his lips. And the other lessons? We're still learning those. Together. Later that week, I brought Lily to meet her grandfather properly. As I watched him hold her with careful hands, his expression softer than I'd ever seen it, I realized something important. Some inheritances can't be written into wills or measured in dollar signs. The most valuable ones are passed down in moments like these, in choices that shape who we become and what we truly value. Hi, I'm Madden, and this is the story of how losing an inheritance helped me find something worth far more.